Hello.
Hello.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
How are you today?
Can't complain. How about yourself?
I'm lovely. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm standing here hanging out with you. We're talking about wines. We're talking about pairing them with all the menus for the Feast of the Five Senses. And in this particular instance, we are talking about pairing these two wines with the Feast of the Five Senses tasting menu from Zest Eatery.
What do you know about Zest?
I know that it is owned by a man named Casey Staker, who is a fabulous gentleman and a good friend.
He's the best.
I know that they have a vegan menu. One of the few places in Salt Lake City and the Salt Lake Valley and surrounding valleys that caters specifically to vegetarian veganism as a dietary staple.
And he was doing it before it was cool.
He was doing it before it was cool. And in fact, I have another soft spot for him because his restaurant occupies the actual physical space where one of my restaurants
the burger joint
in a former life
Yeah, I remember that place.
was housed. Yes.
Yeah.
So
He scourged the demon meat.
He did. He purged the burgerdom from the space.
That's awesome.
All right, so let's talk about these wines vis-a-vis Casey's menu. We have heirloom tomatoes and chilled cucumbers in the first couple of courses. Why do we go here?
Well, the first thing with that heirloom tomato dish, I noticed a bit of a savory element, rich, warm appetizer.
Sure.
Kind of a mouth-coating thing. And so it had a sense of richness about it, and then it went into this sort of second dish that was kind of fresh and crunchy and phenolic. And so I thought,
When you say phenolic, what do you mean?
plant-like, that sort of texture you get from chewing raw plants, that sort of astringency one gets like when you're eating a handful of raw greens. And it's a term I toss about loosely, and I should probably be more specific, but that's essentially what I'm referring to, is that sort of sense of crunching green stuff in your mouth.
Oftentimes when I use the term vegetal,
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah. Or ergonomic.
Or ergonomic.
So, I've had a bit of a revelation this summer, and that is that I love Vino Verde like I love few things, and this is the most abundantly crushable wine I've had in many a year. I usually throw a bottle in the freezer, go ride a bike on a hot day, and then chug the damn thing like it's a 10% beer. It's that much happiness and fun in a bottle. But why I liked it is it's red grape varieties, and so it's a little juicy. The alcohol is low, so it's very sharp. It's got great high acid, and it has this sort of fizz to it. So it's a little, it's got some scrubbing bubbles to go on, and so I thought it would be a nice way to A, have the acid you need for the crunchy stuff, but B, also have the acidity you needed for those more savory elements in that first course. As for the finale, anytime I see ratatouille, anytime I see anything that even hints me toward Burgundy or Burgundian cuisine or Southern French cuisine, I immediately start thinking about the grapes of the area, and my soft spot for Louis Latour knows no bounds. And like the Grand Ardèche, this is one of the great values on the planet of Pinot Noir. This is expressive, deep, dense, earthy stuff. You have to remember the cuisine of the area is all root, all earth, all animals that eat stuff off the ground. And so there's a very earthy quality to it. Ratatouille with eggplant, squash, and all the other stuff that goes into it is a very rich, savory dish, and nothing complements it better. You don't want to have anything excessively juicy or excessively alcoholic, because you're going to kind of smother the charms of the dish. You just want something that's going to accent the frame, as always. And this stuff is done with minimal manipulation. It's old low-yield vines, 2 tons an acre, thereabouts, finished in used French oak from one of the great cooperages in the world, Louis Latour's. And it is, again, punching way out of its weight class, and a lovely sort of knee-jerk reaction for me, because when I see ratatouille, I immediately want that.
When you say punching out of its weight class, I assume you're speaking of the fact that these are eminently affordable wines, yes?
Oh, abundantly. This one's $8.99. This one's maybe $15.
But they drink like wines twice the price point.
Yes, absolutely. And the happiness factor in this one is just insane. And it is, that's what I call it. It's a pushing the joy button.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll take Joy Buzzer on this one.
Yeah.
For sure. Fabulous pairings with the Zest menu. A lot of freshness, a lot of richness, despite being a vegetable-focused menu.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll notice as you go through these videos that none of these wines are heavily manipulated. A lot of them are very transparent in the agriculture. And there's nothing that's lots of oak, lots of manipulation, lots of processing. These are all, family first, farmer first wines.
There you have it. The man, the myth, Francis Fecteau of Libation Wine. The myth only in his own mind, Adam Kreisel of Kaya Cucina. and a Slow Food board member.
They just haven't seen how big your feet are.
This is true. We say to you, bon appetito. Please enjoy and have a lovely, lovely Feast of Five Senses with your menu from Zest.
And thank you for your support.
Happy drinking and thanks for your support. Take care.